not going to storm out of here, Catch. And I'm not going to admit that you made Barbara Novak fall in love. Because I'm not Barbara Novak. There is no Barbara Novak. And I didn't fall in love with Zip Martin. I fell in love with Catcher Block. And that was a year ago, and for 3.5 weeks I worked as your secretary. I wouldn't expect you to remember me. I wasn't a blonde then. But you did ask me out. And it broke my heart to tell you no, but I loved you too much. I couldn't bear the thought of becoming just another notch on your bedpost. I knew that with your dating habits, even if I was lucky enough to get a regular spot on your rotating schedule, I would never have your undivided attention long enough for you to fall in love with me. I knew that I had to do something to set myself apart. I knew that I had to quit my job as your secretary and write an international bestseller, controversial enough to catch the eye of a New York publisher as well as No Magazine, but insignificant enough that as long as I went unseen, No Magazine's star journalist would refuse to do a cover story about it. I knew that every time we were supposed to meet, you would be distracted by one of your many girlfriends and stand me up, and this would give me a reason to fight with you on the phone and declare that I wouldn't meet with you for 100 years. And then, all I would have to do was be patient and wait the 2 or 3 weeks it would take everyone in the world to buy a copy of my bestseller, at which point would I begin to get the kind of publicity that I needed in order for you to, 1, see what I look like, and 2, see me denounce you in public as the worst kind of man. I knew this would make you want to get even by writing one of your famous exposés, and that in order to do this, you would have to go undercover, assume a false identity, and pretend to be the kind of man who would make the kind of girl I was pretending to be fall in love. And since I was pretending to be the kind of girl who would have sex on the first date, you would have to pretend to be the kind of man who wouldn't have sex for several dates. And in doing so, we would go on a lot of dates to all the best places and all the hit shows until finally one night you would take me back to your place that you were pretending was someone else's in order to get the evidence that you needed to write your expose by seducing me until I said, I love you. But saying I love you was also my plan. I just wanted you to know the truth so that when you heard me say I love you, you would know that I knew who you were and you would know who I was. And then you, the great Catcher Block, would know that you had been beaten at your own game by me, Nancy Brown, your former secretary. And I would have once and for all set myself apart from all those other girls you know, all those other girls that you never really cared about by making myself into someone like the one person you truly admire and love above all others. You! And then, when you realized that you had finally met your match, I would have at last gained the respect that would make you want to marry me first and seduce me later. But there was one part of my plan that I didn't count on. And that was that by pretending to be Barbara Novak, I would actually become Barbara Novak. I may be the last woman in the world to do it, but I have finally become a down with love girl level 3. I don't want love. And I don't want you.